good Tuesday morning. And it's not just any Tuesday. It is, of course, a Grati-Tuesday. And once again, this morning, a very good morning to Reverend Sophie and Father Neil on location, I believe, this morning.
We are on location in Cross Hands at the Centre of Mission Impact 242, where they do lots of wonderful, wonderful work with the people here in Cross Hands. And we're here today for a day's training. We're training to learn all about prayer spaces with schools with Tim Abbott from Prayer Spaces in Schools. He's here as well. So we've got lots of things. He's going to lots of lovely people here today training with us. So yes, we're really excited, and I am very grateful for Esther and Michelle at the Centre of Mission for allowing us to use this space. Oh, Centre of Mission, guys. God, do it.
Good morning.
That's because, although Sophie's got a wide-angle lens, of course, because she's in the centre of the picture, she takes up most of what's going on. So, speaking of wide-angle lenses, I've been thinking quite a lot recently about the new Disney film that's coming out, The Little Mermaid. I'm very excited because in my house, Disney pretty much rules. My eldest daughter in particular is a bit of a Disney fiend and can often be heard dancing to Disney tunes, not just in the kitchen, but in her day job in one of our local church schools as well. The problem is that people don't seem to be having much love for the new Disney film. They love Halle Berry.
Halle Berry?
No, Halle Berry.
Yes,
who is the new actress who's playing Little Mermaid.
Okay.
But they don't really like the rest of the film. They don't like things changing. Now, Sophie and I, in quite a lot of the work that we do with families and with children, it's all about taking those classic old stories about maybe Jesus walking on the water or Jesus feeding the 5,000 with 5 loaves and 2 fish, and changing it and updating it and making it contemporary so that people can actually relate it to their everyday lives. So I am grateful today for the remake.
The remake. The remake.
Like
I do like a good remake myself. My favourite one, I think, probably has to be The Sound of Music. I thought that was a good remake. Yeah, not The Sound of Music.
No.
Do I mean The Sound of Music? I don't mean The Sound of Music. I was thinking Julie Andrews. I meant Mary Poppins.
Right. Mary Poppins.
Yeah,
Yes.
Mary
Poppins.
Poppins.
Yeah.
You can't remake The Sound of Music. That just wouldn't happen.
Now, Tom's a big film buff, aren't you, Tom? So is there a remake that you're fond of?
Oh gosh, you put me on the spot.
I've put him on the spot this morning. He's usually got an answer for everything, our Tom.
I do just love films. I really like films. So yeah, I don't know, anything that tells a good story, like what Father Neil was saying there. If you can find a story that you can help resonate in your life and give you something to move forward with or something to carry with you, then I'm all for a good moral to a story.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of my favourite ones, Tom, you'll probably appreciate this, is The Magnificent Seven, that was a remake of Kazuo Ishigura's The Seven Samurai, and talks about how a whole community can be brought together to help itself, as long as they have faith and trust in themselves. And that's kind of what they're doing here in Impact 242 in Cross Hands. They're able to work with the community, to give the community leadership, to retell stories that they've heard many times before, but in a way that is new and contemporary and relevant, and will enable this particular community to reach hold of what's going on and take control of themselves and their lives.
There is a similar centre of mission in Haverfordwest as well. So I know this is Pure West Radio, Pembrokeshire based mostly. So there is also a similar centre of mission happening here going on in Merlin's Bridge. So if you want to know more about that, then I know that Mike Dare and Colleen Cudahy would be more than happy to talk to you guys about it. So there's some really good stories happening across the counties in this diocese.
But for today, God bless the remake. God bless second chances. And we all hope that the new Disney film, A Little Mermaid, the songs of which echo the old Disney film, are going to come to Haverfordwest and we'll all be able to enjoy them together.
Yeah. Well, we've been talking about The Little Mermaid actually a little bit earlier on, didn't we, Tom? And putting that in with the Saunders Fest, which is coming up in July, because Wyn Evans's brother, I believe, sang a song from The Little Mermaid.
He did, yeah.
Mm.
Good old Mark, yeah. There he sang at a Disney concert where he was singing Under the Sea, and yeah, so
Like a bit of Under the Sea myself.
Yeah.
And then, why? I suppose we've already touched on it here. Is that, but why are stories so important?
Oh, stories are really important because they help us to understand our lives. They help us to understand who we are as human beings. They are the biggest source of people coming to know more about themselves and more about the communities that they live in and more about the culture that they live in. So, we tell stories about Derry Sant, we tell stories about Jesus, we tell stories about all sorts of things so that we can understand the culture that we live in, the people that we share life with, and indeed ourselves.
There's a really strong element of entertainment in every story as well. And this is why we use stories in schools so much. This is why those of us in ministry and in faith like to tell Bible stories, because it's not just dry numbers on a piece of paper. It's about capturing people's imagination and allowing them to root that story in their own experience and then pass that story on to somebody else.
Yeah. So for once, we can actually encourage young people and encourage older people as well to actually tell stories, particularly if you think it's going to resonate with an audience member and you can make someone change their perception on their current situation, and that they could find some light and a path out of maybe an area that they didn't think that they would, that they don't want to be stuck in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always telling my congregations to tell stories about how Jesus has changed their lives. If you tell someone a story that can help them resonate with what's going on in their life, actually, that's really helpful to move a person forward. It's a really important part of how we grow as human beings, is telling stories and engaging with one another in storytelling.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I was going to say something else, but I won't. Carry on.
Oh, what are you going to say?
It doesn't matter. I think now is a good time for us to say goodbye, because we have this team of people here, bless them all, who are waiting for us to do some prayer spaces and schools training with them. So we are going to have to go, but we love you all very much, and we will see you next Grati-Tuesday.
And we love the stories that G&T tell on the G&T show.
Yeah, keep telling the stories
every morning on Pure West Radio. Listen in on the app or find them online.
And alive and kicking
every Sunday morning. This Sunday we're going to be talking all about birthdays, because it is Pentecost, the birthday of the church.
Fantastic.
Lovely.
Thank you so much. Enjoy your day. Hello to everybody there who's going to have an inspiring day. And you can, if you're listening to this, you can watch this back on social media, see some of those faces. Talking of stories, I'd Do Anything for Love is like a song that's a story. So we're going to play that for you now. Enjoy your day.
See you later, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
If you see somebody showing any of the signs of a stroke, you don't have to think about it.